And now for the topic that everyone has been waiting for, and that is valuation. Okay, so let's get started. Now, how to explain valuation with you guys, okay, is using the simple example of a property lah. Okay, so whenever you buy and sell properties, right? Okay, whenever you want to buy a property, so there's a seller's price, and you look at the house here. Okay, let's say it's 800,000 ringgit, for example. So the question is how you know whether is this the market price of the property. Okay, so when it comes to property, people will ask about the market price, right? And where do you get the market price? That's when they go and ask, okay, the bank. And then apparently the bank or the agent, then they say, hey, the house here, actually the market price for it is 1 million. So wow, then only you know whether the price that you pay, this 800,000 here, is expensive or cheap. Now that you know the bank's valuation here is 1 million, right? Okay, but the seller is only selling me 800,000. Hey, it's cheap because it's 200,000 cheaper than the original valuation. So that's why it comes to stock, it's the same thing. You want to know whether a stock is expensive or cheap, the only way to know it is through valuation. Okay, so why must we know a company's valuation? Like I said, okay, is to know whether the stock, is it worth the price we are paying? Are we paying at a very expensive price? Okay, is it worth it or not? Okay, and then when the price is at a high price here, is it worth taking it, okay, or buying it at the price? Okay, so like for example in Visa here, you can just see the price chart like that. Okay, price alone can't tell us anything. So for example, at this Visa here, the chart that I put here is 274. Then how do we know this $274 here is expensive or cheap? You cannot judge based on 274 dollars are very expensive because 274. No, it's not like that. That's not how it works when it comes to stock. All right. You want to see whether a stock is cheap or not, they must have another comparison, right? Okay. Then later in the next video, I'll be sharing with you this wonderful tool. Immediately you see, okay, you will know whether a company's valuation already and know whether it's cheap or expensive. Now, for preview purposes, let me tell you this. The most important line is this red color line here. Okay, now this red color line here represents the average valuation that the market is willing to pay for this business. Okay, so just take it at face value. I will explain later on, okay, on how to interpret it. So now that, for example, okay, this company here, okay, the price is the blue color one. Okay, the blue color one right now, the market is willing to pay 16.39 times, for example. But hey, on average, actually, the market is willing to pay 17.95 times. So despite the price actually went up here, okay, it's actually undervalued. Okay, a lot of people got trapped by seeing, the price keep on going up already, very expensive, cannot buy already. But sometimes the business can get better and better, can grow, right? Okay, so that's why you can see here, okay, the red line here is above than the blue line. So the blue line here is the 16 times. This one, market willing to pay it around 18 times. So at this price, it's technically undervalued. Okay, now this is just an overview. Okay, I will explain further and more deeper, okay, about the valuation that we'll be using. Okay, so why must we know a company's valuation? Very, very simple. We don't want to be affected by the price. Okay, stock investors always use the price as the information. Whenever your eyes stick on the price only, you can't make real proper decisions. If you know a company's value, let's say you know the company's value is, let's say, okay, let's use back this Visa here. When you know the company's value, okay, the real value is around 275, for example. Okay, 275. And if the price, let's say, quite volatile, up and down, then suddenly go back to 250 or 230, right? People will panic if they saw the price. But if you understand the business, you know the value of the company is actually supposed to be 274, then you are confident. You know that it's cheap. You know that the price will go up in the future. And that's when you dare to take action. Okay? So why must we know a valuation not be affected by the price and also not to overpay for a stock? The simple thing, right? You don't want to overpay for a house. Okay, because if let's say the house give you 1 million and you go and buy 1.5 million, yeah, you can buy, okay, no problem. But you perhaps need to wait years, okay, for the house real value, okay, to reach up to the 1.5 million you are paying. You don't want that. Yeah. Then, of course, very obviously, you want to know valuation because you want to recognize undervalued stocks. Yeah. And you will know whether the stock is an opportunity or not, and it will help you build confidence. Okay, when you know a company's valuation, you will be confident, okay, to hold or continue to buy the stock. Okay, and lastly, strategize fund allocation. Yeah, because sometimes the company, yes, when you buy is undervalued, you will allocate more. And as time goes by, okay, the company somehow, got too euphoric already, and the price went up. And oi, now the price is overvalued. Okay, I don't want this stock to be, a very heavy position in my portfolio. So I decided to trim off some, sell off some, okay, because it's quite risky for me already. It's overvalued, okay, by the market. So this is all the decisions you will make by knowing a company's valuation. Yeah. Okay. So what to know about valuation? This is very, very important. Okay. Now, when we learn about stock valuation, it's only to tell us that stock, whether it's cheap or expensive. Now, some, okay, people will tell you, valuation is so important. You need to count it precisely. Okay, by buying at that price, wow, you confirm will make money in the future. Now, this is the wrong way of saying about valuation. Okay, because people just want to sell you things. Okay, they want to, you need to know this advanced valuation. The moment you know this valuation, okay, you know the precise price they buy, you will make no mistake already. The moment you buy, you will make money. Please don't fall into the trap like that. Okay, valuation is just to know whether it's cheap or expensive. Okay, because it's not a guarantee at all, okay, about profit or losses. Why? Because when you buy a valuation, okay, you know the valuation, right? Okay, you buy it, for example. What happens next is you need to understand the business. Make sure the company continue to grow. Yes, you buy cheap. But what if the things that you buy is cheap, but somehow the company deteriorated? Cheap will become cheaper, right? So at that time, okay, that's why I say valuation can only tell you whether at that price in that moment is cheap or expensive. It's not about a guarantee, okay, whether it's profit or losses. Yeah, because valuation, like I said, it will change. If let's say the valuation is here right now, somehow the business deteriorated, okay, then the valuation will also change in the future. Yeah, so that's why valuation, okay, please don't get trapped, okay, to be very, very precise. You do not need to know and calculate a valuation so precisely. No, this is not maths and science. Investing is an art. Yeah, so valuation is very, very subjective. As long as it's within the range, it's okay already. Yeah, there's no certain or fixed number at all when it comes to valuation. Yeah, it's only to tell us again whether it's cheap or expensive, and it will guide us, okay, whether it's worth to buy the stock, can continue to accumulate, okay, or let's say if it becomes so overvalued, it's a time to sell. Yeah, this is all you need to know about valuation. Yeah, okay. So as a rule of thumb, okay, when valuation is cheap in a company, okay, again, provided it's growing very well, it's very strong, there's nothing wrong with the company, and somehow the market misprices your stock, and you see, hey, the valuation, very, very cheap, okay, then it's time to invest heavily. Okay, and let's say if the valuation becomes expensive, okay, slightly above the valuation, but you still feel it's a very good company, then yes, okay, best you want to continue to invest lightly. That means slowly buy a bit more, because the company can continue to get bigger and bigger, right? Okay. Now, if let's say the valuation is euphoric, okay, that means that it's like continue to go up non-stop. Okay, yes, you should be happy, okay, because profit a lot, right? But you need to understand here when it comes to stock investing, okay, not every stock price will continue to go up at the euphoric state forever. The correction will happen. So whenever you want to invest, we want to consider also to manage a risk. So whenever you know the valuation is here, for example, the red color line, okay, then you see the stock price, blue color go very high, right? Okay, then that's when you need to be aware already. That's when you need to consider to manage risk, maybe perhaps slowly trim off some of the stock. Yeah. Okay. So this is the overview about valuation. So the next module, again, the module 5 on valuation here, the valuation that we have always been using, you never use anything else, is this price to sales ratio. That's all. And you will know why, okay, we only use this valuation, and it has been guiding us, okay, generating a lot of results so far. Okay, so you don't want to miss this video. Okay, see you later on the next one, okay, where I'll teach you price to sales ratio. Okay, see you guys.